Hello, hello. I just finished the last video and I'm on to this one. Uh, Let me move this real quick. That's better. Now I can actually see my phone without crossing my eyes. Well, welcome back. We're going on to Leviticus 17. Yeah, the last one was Leviticus 18, if I'm 18, 16. Yep, that's what it is. Oh, I didn't change the name. I'll do it right now. I thought I changed the name. I guess I didn't. But welcome back, everyone. It's been a while since I actually read it. I just read a few minutes ago. A few minutes ago. I'm looking at the time right now. It's only been like two seconds. Yeah, but I never really say this. But how you guys been? I actually woke up pretty early today, and I was hyper for no reason. I woke up like around 5 o'clock, I believe. I think it was like 5 o'clock. I woke up hyper, and I was just exercising my butt off on the not on my treadmill, my mat over here. But I was just exercising my butt off the floor today. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. Oh well, it seems like everything's good now. Oh well, let's just get started with Leviticus 17. Because I'm still hyper for no reason. And I'm just going to get this started. And like, share, and subscribe, and we'll get this started. Then the Lord said to Moses, give these and following instructions to Aaron and his sons, and all the people of Israel. This is what the Lord has commanded. If any native Israelite sacrifices a bull or a lamb or a goat anywhere inside or outside the camp, instead of bringing it to the entrance of the tabernacle to present it as an offering to the Lord, that person will be guilty as a murderer, such as a person has shed blood, and will be cut off from the community. The purpose of this rule is to stop the Israelites from sacrificing animals in open fields and ensure that they bring their sacrifice to the priest at the entrance of the tabernacle so they can present them to the Lord as peace offerings. Then the priest will be able to splatter the blood against the Lord's altar at the entrance of the tabernacle, and he will burn the fat as a pleasing aroma to the Lord. The people must no longer be unfaithful to the Lord by offering sacred sacrifices to the goat idols. This is a permanent law for them. Excuse me, to be observed from generation to generation. Give these commands as well. If any native Israel or foreigner living among you offers a burnt offering or a sacrifice, but does not bring it to the entrance of the tabernacle to offer it to the Lord, this person will be cut off from the community. And if any native Israelite or foreigner living among you eats and drinks blood in any form, will be turned against that person and cut off from the community of your people. For a life, for a life of a body, it is in its blood. I have given you the blood on the altar to purify you, making you right with the Lord, and it is the blood given in exchange for a life that must be purification possible. This is why this is why I have said to the people of Israel, you must never eat or drink blood, neither you nor your foreigner living among you. And any native Israelite or foreigner living among you must hunt and kills any animal or bird is proven is proof for eating. He must drain its blood and cover it with earth. The life of every creature in its blood. That we that is why we have said that to the people of Israel, you may never eat or drink, for a life for any creature is in its blood. So whoever consumes blood will be cut off from the community. And if any native born Israelite or foreigner eat the meat of any animal will die naturally or be torn by wild animals. They must wash their clothes and bathe themselves in water. They will remain ceremonially unclean till the evening, but they will be clean. But if you do not wash your clothes or bathe themselves, they will be punished for their sin. And then the Lord said to Moses, give these and following instructions to the people of Israel. I am the Lord your God, so do not act like people in Egypt, where you used to live, or like the people of Canaan, where 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 was I? Where you used to live, or the people of Canaan, where I am talking, where I'm taking you. You must not imitate their way of life. If you must obey all my regulations and be careful to obey my decrees, for I am the Lord your God. If you obey my decrees and my relegations, you will find life through them. I am the Lord. You must never have sexual relationships with close relative, for I am the Lord. Do not violate your father by having sexual relations with your mother. She is your mother. You must not have sexual relations with her. Do not have sexual relations with any of your father's wives, for this would violate your father. Do not have sexual relations with your sister or half sister, whether she is your father's daughter or your mother's daughter, whether she is born into your house or someone else. Do not have sexual relations with your granddaughter, whether she is your son's daughter or your daughter's daughter, for this will violate yourself. Do not have sexual relations with your stepsister and the daughter of any of your father's wives, for this is for she is your sister. Do not have sexual relations with your father's sister, for she is your father's close relative. Do not have sexual relations with your mother's sister, for she is your mother's close relative. Do not violate your uncle, your father's brother, by having sexual relations with his wife, for she is your aunt. Do not have sexual relationships or relations with your daughter-in-law. She is your son's wife, so you must not have sexual relations with her. Do not have sexual relations with your brother's wife, for this will violate your brother. Do not have sexual relations with both a woman and her daughter, and do not take her granddaughter, whether she's whether her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter, and have and not and have sexual relations with her. They are close relatives, and this would be wicked act. While your wife is living, do not marry your sister or have sexual relations with her, for they would be rivals. That's an interesting way to put it. Do not have sexual relations with a woman during her period of menstrual impurity. Do not defile yourself by having sexual intercourse with the neighbor's wife. Do not permit any of your children to be offered as a sacrifice to Moke, Moke, for you have nothing to bring shame in the name of your God. I am the Lord. I do not practice homosexuality or having sex with another man as as a woman as with a woman. This is a disdain sin. That's interesting to go back to. A man must not defile himself by having sex with an animal, and a woman must not offer herself to a male animal to have intercourse with. This is a perverse act. Perverse act. Do not do not defile yourselves in any way, for the people I am driving out before they have defiled themselves in all these ways, because they entered the land and became defiled, and I am punishing the people who live there. They caused the land to vomit them out. You must obey all these decrees and regulations. You must not commit any of these disdainable sins. This applies both to native born Israelites and to the foreigners living among you. All the disdainable activities are practiced by the people of the land where I am taking you, and this is how the land has become defiled. So do not defile the land, given a reason to vomit out all as a vomit out of the people who lived out there. Whether commits any of these disdainable sins will be cut off from the community of Israel. So obey these instructions and do not defile yourselves by committing any of these disdainable practices that were committed by the people who lived in the land before you. I am the Lord your God. Oh man, that's actually one thing that's interesting to go back on. Ah, yeah. I'll go back on it. Let's just continue reading. I was gonna start talking, but I'm like, I should. Let me just finish 19, and then we'll talk about it. Then the Lord also said to Moses, "Follow these instructions to build an entire community, to the entire community of Israel. You must be holy because I am the God, the Lord your God. I am holy. Each of you must show great respect for your mother and your father. You must always observe the Sabbath days of rest. I am the Lord your God. Do not put your trust in idols or make metal images of gods for yourselves. I am the Lord your God. When you sacrifice a peace offering to the Lord, offer offer it properly so you will be accepted by God. The the sacrifice must be eaten on the same day you offer it or the next day, whether it is left until the third day, it must be completely burnt up. If any of these sacrifices is eaten on the third day, it will be contaminated and it will not be accepted. Anyone who eats on the third day will be punished for defiling what is holy to the Lord and will be cut off from the community. When you harvest your crops of your land, do not harvest the grain along the edges of your field and do not pick what the harvesters drop. It is the same as it is the same with your grape crops. Do not strip every last branch of grapes from the vines, or and do not pick up the grapes that fall to the garden or to the ground. Leave them for the poor and for the foreigners living among you. I am the Lord your God. I am the Lord your God. Yeah. Do not steal. Do not deceive or cheat another one. Do not bring shame on the name of your God using a swear false. Do not using. Do not. Do not bring shame on the name of your God by using it as a swear falsely. And I am the Lord. Do not defraud or rob your neighbor. Do not make your hired workers wait till the next day to receive their payment. Do not insult the deaf or cause the blind to stumble. You must You must fear your God. I am the Lord. Do not twist the justice in legal matters by favoring the poor, and being partially to the rich and powerful. Always judge people fairly. Do not spread slanderous gossip among the people. Do not stand idly by when your neighbor's life is threatened. I am the Lord. Do not nurse hatred in your heart for any of your relatives. Confront people directly so you will not be held guilty for your sin. Do not seek revenge or bear a grudge against a fellow Israelite, but love your neighbor as you love yourself. I am the Lord. You must obey all these decrees. Do not make two different kinds of animals. Do not plant your field with two different types of seeds. Do not wear clothes woven from two different kinds of thread. If a man had sex with a slave girl whose freedom has been purchased, who has been committed to become another man's wife, he must pay full compensation to her master. But since she is not a free woman, neither the man nor the woman will be put to death. The man, however, must bring a ram of guilt offering and present it to the Lord at the entrance of the tabernacle. The priest will purify him before the Lord. Then the ram of guilt offering and the man's sin will be forgiven. When you enter the land and plant fruit trees, leave the fruit on harvest for the first 3 years and consider it forbidden. Do not eat it. In the fourth year, the entire crop must be constructed to the Lord as a celebration for a paradise praise. Finally, in the fifth year, you must eat the fruit. If you follow this pattern, your harvest will increase. I am the Lord your God. Do not eat meat that has been drained of its blood. Do not practice fortune telling or witchcraft. Do not trim off the hairs from your temples or trim your beards. Do not cut your bodies for the dead, and do not mark your skin with tattoos. I am the Lord. Do not defile your daughter by making her a prostitute, or the land will be filled with prostitutes and wickedness. Keep the Sabbath day of rest and show your resilience to my sanctuary, and I am the Lord. Do not defile yourselves by turning into mediums or to those who consult the spirits of the dead. And I am the Lord your God. Stand up and present of the elderly, and show respect for the age fear your God. Wait, and show respect for the age fear your God. I am the Lord. Okay, I read that wrong. I said it in a really wrong way. Okay. I don't know. In my head, I thought it was like, oh, show respect for the age, fearing your God. I read that as well. I am the Lord. Do not take advantage of foreigners who live among you in the land. Treat them as native born Israelites and love them with all as you love yourself. Remember that you were once foreigners in the land of Egypt, and I am the Lord your God. Do not use dishonest standards when measure length, weight, or volume. Use scales or weights that must be accurate or contain measuring dry materials for the land that must be acute. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt. You must be careful with all the decrees and regulations I'm putting on into practice. I am the Lord. Okay, first things first, the tattoo part. A lot of people nowadays think that because the Bible says about the tattoo parts, it's actually more markings than anything. So back in the days during this time, the way they would actually honor their pagan gods was they would actually cut off their skin and they will apply like something really hot on their skin to burn that into their skin, making them tattoos of now. Because back then they didn't have the same tattoos that we do, where they would take like a needle and stick like oil or ink inside your skin. So yeah, back then that's actually the rule of tattoos. So nowadays we can get tattoos as Christians, but you got to be careful. And two, is it for honoring God, or or is it for uh or is it for like demonic purposes? Like, are you honoring him or not? That is the question. Do you honor Jesus when you get a tattoo? Or are you getting a tattoo of 666 and Satan written across your arm? That's kind of what it is with the tattoo things. There's not really much about it. But the other thing that I'm constantly hearing about in so many rallies, I constantly hear, I forget this man's name. I see him a lot on TikTok. He constantly goes to LGBT rallies or the Pride rallies, and every single time there's always quote unquote Christians there that go there, and they say that homosexuality is not an abomination and it's not in the Bible, and they constantly try to say that it is not a problem for it. But if I go back to where it said it, let me see. Your brother. But you kind of saw right there, right here. So it's in Leviticus chapter 18, 22. Now let me go to my King King James version. Ow, my bad. That hurt. So let me go to Leviticus in King James version, and let me look up chapter 18, verse 22. So let me search it up and see if it says the same thing as this one. Moreover, thou shalt not lie carelessly in thy neighbor's wife. Oh wait, that's 20. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as a womankind. It is abomination. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. So that basically says do not sleep with a man. Oops. As much as you slept with a as you do with a woman, for it is an abomination. Even the King James version say it. But I'm constantly seeing these people on TikTok that go to these pride rallies and say like, "Oh, God is love." So if God loves you, then that's all it is in order to keep you safe for the end times. No, that's not how it works. Yeah, God's gonna love you, but He's not. But you continue to doing all these bad stuff that He does not like. I mean, even in there, in the old King James Bible, it literally says it's an abomination to Him. He doesn't like it. And then here, it says the same thing too about it. So it's kind of hard to defend that part when I constantly hear these quote unquote Christians that go to these pride rallies and constantly say that, oh, it doesn't say that homosexuality is a bad thing in the Bible. And they try to defend it like that's not what God said. I have two separate Bibles here. I even have a third one in the background. And they all say the same thing. Do not practice homosexuality, having sex with another man as with a woman. This is this is disdain this is distasteful sin. It is a distasteful sin. Yeah, meaning that God doesn't like it. And in the King James version, don't lie with another man so carelessly. Don't lie with another man as you do with a woman. It is an abomination. But I'm constantly seeing these people on pride rallies calling themselves Christians, and then they say that that's not what it says in the Bible. But we're not. I'm reading two different Bibles right here. I'm reading the New Living Translation. I'm reading the King James over here, and they're both saying the same thing. Don't sleep with the man, because God doesn't like it. If God doesn't like it, then it's obvious what we shouldn't be doing. Yeah. And actually, I think it was in the last chapter, it says, do not try to twist the legal system. Don't try to twist the legal system in any way possible. If you do, you are basically favoring others over them. Like, don't do that. Judge people fairly and accordingly to the things. So it doesn't matter if the person is extremely rich. If he commits murder, he goes to prison. And if the person And if a poor person commits murder, they both should be charged the same way. It's not as simple as, oh, maybe the poor person had a reason, or maybe the rich man was threatened with his life. Doesn't matter which is which. Doesn't matter which is which. If murder was committed and there was malice involved with both cases, then there should be no reason to put them in prison. Yeah, maybe if there was in self defense, like someone broke into someone's home, that's another story. And that's one thing that I forgot to mention, or something that I found out actually recently was in the oldest book of the Bible, um one of the commandments is thou shalt not murder. I think in the New Living Translation it says thou shalt not kill. And actually in the oldest version of it, in the oldest translation of it, not translation, in the oldest basically original closest to the Bible, it actually talks about that specific verse, but instead of saying thou shalt not murder, it's actually more like thou shalt not maliciously murder, or thou shalt not maliciously kill. So basically, if someone breaks into my home and I kill them, the Lord then that's okay because you're not doing it in a malicious intent. But if I start walking down the street and I see someone and I just go up to them and stab them 70 times in the back, then that's considered maliciously murder and is one of the commandments that have been broken. So yeah, man, I can continue going on with this because this is the thing that I've been hearing about everywhere. But now that I finally actually read it and actually understand what's going on, God is not telling these guys that, oh, people in the future, thou shalt not get tattoos. It's an abomination. No, it's more like don't get your skin cut off and don't mark your skin with these ink because that's how they basically respect the pagan gods. Don't do that to yourselves, Israelites. But I gotta stop there because, or else I'm gonna continue going on for the next few minutes. But other than that, I'll see you all in the next video, and we'll talk more about it next time.